Good rising, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Talk with me, Karen B. Aren't you all excited? I'm just kidding. It's good to see you all here, and I remember to hit go live on Rockfin. PsyOp within a PsyOp, Anson Howard, Scott Hunter, Carrie, Cody Bocephus, and others. Good to see you at Rockfin. Chat, Matrix 6, Good Rising on Rumble. Yeah, don't know if I have comments on Facebook. It's kind of hard for me to see Facebook comments. So if you're watching on Facebook and you comment and I don't see it, I'm sorry. It's just hard to get comments off that particular part of the stream. But thank you for being here and thank you for watching. It is November 6th and we are heading into our new moon phase with a waning moon of 38%. It should be on its way out right now. It's going to be past its high point in the sky and on its way to the other side of the realm shortly. In case you were wondering, Chris Shepak, let your speech be always with grace seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Colossians 4:6. Huh. Benny Boy says he's ready. Good. Hi, Spicy Sarah. I don't know what's in the show, but I know it's going to be a good one. Oh, thank you, Danny. Grand Rising, Jana. Beautiful day here in the Carolinas. Nathan Reed, good to see you. Big Pine Sailing. Southern Belle. Dr. E. Vales. Billingtano. How perfect. The Keys are one of my favorite places. Florida Keys. Oh, it's cold in the Keys? Huh, what does that mean? Chicago artist, good to see you. No, we won't, Richard. We will not talk that today. We don't ever talk that. Unless we're talking crap about it. Sorry, not sorry. Hi, Sue. The Mandy Effect. Hello, the Mandy Effect. And Jameson Kimbrell. Did I ever show you guys the cool thing that Chicago artist made? Did I show you guys? I have it here. Let me just show you guys in case you didn't see. I'm gonna have to change cam only. Oh, you know, I had to unplug all of my freaking I had to unplug all of my cameras and stuff because I upgraded the RAM in my computer. Hopefully that will help with the streaming issues I was having that maybe won't happen anymore. So for those of you who are there, you'll recognize there, Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall. It's like 3D. And the teddy bear, and then the poker chip with the flat earth map on it. The teddy bear is pointing up at my bird. Not doing a Nazi salute, as my daughter said. That made me laugh. But I was like, no, he's pointing up at the bird. It's teddy bear, Ted, pointing up at the bird. It's cute. Little ode to Bob there. With the logo, the Glowbusters logo first. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I have it up here. Woo! Yes. So shout out to Chicago Artist for that really cool piece of art from the event. Dip down into the 70s. I want to go to the Florida Keys. I want to go to that Star Fort. I would like to take my children to see the Star Fort. I want to go take them to see cool stuff like that. So, that sounds fun. Yeah, well done, right? Super cool. Anyway, what else was I going to... I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. I need coffee. More coffee. I have to say, I'm a little dependent on coffee. I can't help it. Everybody keeps talking about we should be doing coffee enemas, but I'm like, I just want to drink it. Isn't it weird how they tell you to drink the pee and then put the coffee up your butt? What? Yeah, the Star Fort on St. Augustine. Let me see if I can bring it up. Is it Castillo de San Marcos? St. Augustine was built to defend Florida. Anyway. Oh, this is not the Florida Keys. Oh, that's much closer than I thought. Is there another one that's down on the Florida Keys? Or no? Or is this the only one? If that's where it is, that's cool. Okay. But yeah, I knew there was a Star Fort in Florida. I thought it would be cool to go see the Star Fort. Coffee enemas are good for liver detox. I hear ya. I may try to do it, but I'm still gonna drink it. Not the same coffee, though. Oh, so gross. Tommy, tell the truth. Hey, Tommy! We have a Star Fort here on the island. What island? And how come you don't have a thingy? Used to do coffee enemas in the 90s. G's song, Exit Only, right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Star Fort. Is there more than one? Star Forts of the United States. Oh. Oh, shit. You guys, did you know there were this many? These aren't all Star Forts, are they? This is blowing my mind. There's some in Carolina? Oak Island. What? Fort Caswell. Constructed 1826 to 1836 for the Civil War. Interesting. Gorgeous, right? Sorry, but this is not Fort Caswell, but nearby Fort Johnston. So let's see. Fort Johnston. Is that this one? No. Fort Sumter. Where's Fort Johnson? Johnston. But still, there's not a Johnston either. Jackson, Jefferson, Fort Jackson, Fort Jackson. Bruh. 96, South Carolina. Fort 96. Oh, it's not there anymore, but look at, you see the star shape. It's like the ruins of it. Constructed 1780, used by Great Britain, also known as Star Fort for Revolutionary War. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Oh, look at this. This is like a partial star fort. 1776. Revolutionary War and Civil War. It was used. Interesting. Boy, there's star forts all over the place. I want a star fort. I want to build a star fort around my house. Let's do it. Ted, get busy. Just kidding. Show us Pacific Northwest what? Oh, star forts in the Pacific Northwest? What's there? It's Fort Stevens, it says. Fort Stevens. Oh, that looks like a chevron. Point Adams, Oregon, USA. Constructed in 1863. Conflict in which it participated. Second World War in an oblique fashion. What? Was there Second World War? What? Stuff over here? I don't get it. In 1803, the United States purchased the Louisiana Territory from France. Thomas Jefferson, blah, 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 blah. Huh. Fort Stevens. Over the next 2 years, a Flintley determined Lewis and Clark expedition crossed their way from St. Louis to the end of their journey at the mouth of the Columbia River, where it meets the mighty Pacific. They spent their winter 1805 to 1806 holed up at Fort Clatsop, named for a local Indian tribe. This was less a fort than a small collection of log cabins, blah blah blah. Just a smidge southwest of the future Fort Stevens. Lewis and Clark, despite their frigid, hungry heroism, were not the first to discover the mouth of the Columbia River. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to read all this and bore you guys. I'm trying to figure out Castillo de San Marcos. What? This is the one that's over here, right? When the Adamus-Onis Treaty of 1819 betwixt the United States and Spain ceded Florida, along with the stellar Castillo de San Marcos, to the U.S., it also handed over territorial rights to all the discoveries made by Spain on the North American continent north of the 42nd parallel, which included the Columbia River, or so the United States strenuously argued. Finer points of the law notwithstanding, Britain still felt pretty strongly that the Oregon Territory was part of Canada. It's a long story. Oh look, Endicott with an I. The Endicott period. A great many of the 29 identified locations were places that already had star forts installed. The Endicott period, which lasted roughly from 1885 to 1905, furthered the sacred cause of the American star fort not only by re-emphasizing the crucial nature of these locations, but in many cases by building new gun batteries in and around the existing star forts. While this process was not pretty and has frequently been bemoaned by yours truly, the machinations of the Endicott period greatly extended the useful lives of many American star forts. Huh. Oh, this is weird though, talking about use in the Second World War. Like, I don't get that. Fort Point. San Francisco. Hello? Fort Pickens, you said, Tommy? Tell me why I should keep watching. I'm 71, never too late to learn. Do love coffee and love Karen's prettiness. Tell me why you should keep watching. You do whatever you want to do, my friend. You don't want to drink green coffee. Hasn't been roasted, right? Fort Pickens. Why isn't this loading? This one doesn't want to load. Fort Point. Oh, here we go. Fort Crown Point, New York. That's not what I was trying to go for, though. I thought it said... Fort Point. Is there no close-up picture of it? The Presidio of San Francisco after being... Oh, so it's not there anymore? Fort Point today. Oh, yeah. Yes, I wish this picture were bigger, too. Fort Point today. Okay. So it's like, what, there, under the Golden Gate? Ah, Fort Point at the end of the U.S. Civil War. Oh! Before there was a bridge. Look at that. The bay without the bridge. That's kind of trippy to see. Fort Point's gun mounts are identical to those at Fort Pulaski. Some of these, they're called star forts, but that's not really a star fort. It's just a fort. They're calling them star forts when they're not really shaped like stars. But when I say star fort, I'm like star fort, star-shaped fort. That's pretty cool. Conflict in which it participated, none. 1846 to 1876. What did you call it, Tommy? Santa Rosa Island? Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? YouTube still sucks. Yeah, YouTube still wants to throttle my stream. YouTube, hello? Native tribes of Florida were said to be 7 feet tall. Hello, artist seer. How's it going on other platforms? Are we still good on other platforms? Is Rockfin working? Only so much damage it can do. Most damage, blah, blah, blah. How are we? Sorry, you guys. I don't mean to like stop the whole show, but I just want to see what's happening with the stream. YouTube can suck it. Audio's fine. Okay. Still seems to be going on other platforms. So. Oof. saying YouTube's not really receiving enough video information to maintain smooth streaming. And I don't know why that would be. Every time I start the stream, it says excellent condition or excellent connection, and then it starts erroring out on me. Now it says excellent, stream is healthy. Why? And I didn't even change anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What is that? Anyway, all media is controlled. What is throttling? I just mean like they could be interrupting my connection, like interrupting my stream. I mean, I don't know that that's what's happening. I just assume that. Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't change anything. And most of the time I'll stream and it'll be fine. It'll say excellent connection the whole time. And then once in a while it'll start getting glitchy. And a lot of times YouTube will drop and then everything else will keep going. So that's what makes me think it's YouTube, because like Twitch will still go, like every other platform will still be going except for YouTube. I blame RV. Hi, Dandy News. Germany has been occupied by the U.S. since 1945. Well, everywhere that the U.S. builds a military base, that base stays there. So they occupy everywhere with their stupid military bases everywhere. I mean, you know, we know what they do. We just have to make sure that we all understand that the government is not the people. Hey, what's cooking research? Hey, Robert. Israel, the company, is listed on the UK government website, coincidentally with links to the Paradise and Panama Papers. There are entire towns purposely submerged, plus all of the remains that are submerged for who knows what reason. What? Off the coast of Florida? Here's a cool... Oh, look at this one. Alabama? Fort Pickens. This is the one you're talking about, huh? Tommy? That's not snow, is it? Is that just white sand? That's really cool. War of 1812 had been a relatively positive experience for the United States. Some of those who lost their lives might disagree, but a glaring deficiency in the U.S. coastal defense was made quite plain by such events as the burning of Washington, D.C. by British troops who had no trouble whatsoever in getting there. Upon completion of this war, the U.S. determined to strengthen its defenses to all of its major seaports. Spanish and French had, through the 16th and 18th centuries, played various reindeer games in and around Florida. A few Spanish fortifications had been built to defend the lovely natural harbor that would become Pensacola, but all of Florida was ceded to Great Britain in 1763 as a result of the French and Indian War. Taking advantage of the American Revolution, Spain took Pensacola back from Britain in 1781 and got most of Florida back from the British at the end of the conflict. Finally, the U.S. purchase of the Floridas for $5 million was negotiated in the Adam-Onis Treaty, 1819. This treaty also set the boundary between the U.S. and the Viceroyalty of New Spain, which we know as Mexico. After the War of 1812, French engineer Simon Bernard was appointed to design a fort that would defend the approaches of Pensacola Harbor. Fort was named for Major General Andrew Pickens of the South Carolina militia who fought in the American Revolution. Interesting. Fort Pickens is mostly bricks. 21.5 million of them. I do so love bricks when they're assembled in this manner. 21.5 million bricks. Woo! Interesting. So anyway, is there any more that look really cool, like actual stars? So there's this St. Augustine one, that's pretty cool. And then this one looks pretty cool too. It's not really a star, but it looks cool. It's like a trippy triangle. French Huguenots, inspired by the writings of John Calvin to be the target of mass persecution in the mid-16th century, found themselves in need of a new home where Catholics wouldn't murder them quite so much. One group of Huguenots, led by René Goulain de Laudonnière, landed at what is now Jacksonville, Florida, and founded the colony of Fort Caroline in June 22nd, 1564, on the solstice, huh? The fort and colony were named for the French King Charles, who would go on to watch horrified by thousands of Huguenots were killed during the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in 1572. Although he did little to stop the massacre, he would die 2 years later in a somewhat crazed state, hearing the screams of the dying ringing in his ears. You'll perhaps note that Charles' name was not Caroline, nor was his wife's, nor his mother's. In this case, Caroline translates from Old French as land belonging to Charles. Seriously. Huh. That's interesting because Carolina, right, the state, but the capital of Carolina is Charlotte. Jean Ribault was the French explorer who first found the spot where Fort Caroline would be built and returned with ships and troops in June of 1565. That's interesting. These are cool looking. I want a star fort. This one, oh my gosh, this one looks like a freaking ice cream cone. It's interesting. Is that a moat? It has a moat. Huh. That's pretty cool. From the Civil War. Yeah, some of these are not really star-shaped, though. And it's a little underwhelming. It's way cooler when they actually look like a star. Hello, Martin Ellen. There's rubble piles out in the Gulf. I've done several. Lots of fish. St. Augustine is the star fort in northern Florida. Yes, good times for all. Good to see you, Dave. Hey, Dave. 2023, and we still got people that think they live on a spinning oblate spheroid. Paroid, in reality, nothing. Haha, yeah. I want a moat around my... Right? There's one for sale in New York Harbor, but it has lots of stipulations. Yeah, they probably like want you to follow all their rules on restoring it. Fort Richmond, what do they got over here? Fort Schuyler. Oh, the one that Statue of Liberty's on. Fort Wood. Fort J. Governor's Island. Oh, we got all kinds of star forts, man. A lot in the northeast here. That's pretty cool. That's cool, because you think that'd be something you'd have to go to Europe or something to appreciate, but you don't. That's here. Sometimes America has cool stuff too. Trying to see if any of these other ones have cool pictures. Not really. People always try to say the Earth is a globe. Bob Nodell proved... What? Bye. Yes, bye. Goodbye. Hey, Mark Wontraba over there on Rockfin. Walled allotment. It's kept out of school, but if you research Florida history, it mentions Timucua being 7 feet tall. I'd be curious to look into primary sources. Timucua, is that the right word? Is that how you spell it? Let's see. Okay, let's see what Sheeplepedia says. Timucua were a Native American people who lived in the Northeast and North Central Florida and Southeast Georgia. They were the largest indigenous group in that area and consisted of about 35 chiefdoms, many leading thousands of people. Various groups of Timucua spoke several dialects, blah, 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 blah. Religion, Native and Catholic. Right. I don't think that they were... The word Timucuan may derive from Timagona, Timangua, Timucua might have been the first American natives to see the landing of Juan Ponce de Leon near St. Augustine. Sketches of the Timucua drawn by Jacques Lemoyne de Morgue, one of the French settlers, have proven valuable resources for modern ethnographers in understanding the people. Well, it's not really talking about like their overall appearance or features. Tribes, number of different tribes, different dialects. Oconee. Yeah, it's not really talking about organization and classes, chiefdoms, customs, settlements, diet, physical appearance. Here we go. Spanish explorers were shocked at the height. Oh, here we go. It does talk about it. Were shocked at the height of the Timucua, who averaged 4 inches or more above them. Timucuan men wore their hair in a bun on top of their heads, adding to the perception of height. Measurement of skeletons exhumed from beneath the floor of a presumed Northern Utina Mission Church, blah, 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 yielded a man height of 64 inches or 163 centimeters for 9 adult males and 62 inches for 5 adult women. The conditions of the bones and teeth indicated that the population of the mission had been chronically stressed. Each person was extensively tattooed. The tattoos were gained by deeds. Children began to acquire tattoos as they took on more responsibility. People of a higher social class had more elaborate decorations. Tattooed remains by poking holes in the skin and rubbing ashes into the holes. Well, 64 inches, that doesn't really seem... That doesn't seem that tall. That's like just over 5 feet. This is not... How short were the Spaniards? Well, it mentions it, but 64 inches is really not a lot. A mean height for the adult males is 64 inches. I mean, what, 60 inches is 5 feet, right? So 5'4" for the men and 5'2" for the women. But the Latin shorter, so complex. Lighthouses are available for purchase now. I mean, that would be cool. I mean, they're round, so you don't really have to worry about like a hurricane pushing it over. 5'9", right? Like I know, right, Cammy? So am I, because I'm taller than the average height that they say the Timucuan is. I don't know if that's right, though. Obviously, this is Sheeplepedia. So maybe we can find something else. Florida's early people, nps.gov. Artifacts, images, doesn't... Next, colonization and conflict. This is not really saying anything. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to find... Let's see, we can see what it says here. This is a .gov website though, so... I don't know, man. That's something you'd probably have to... Timucuan people. Probably have to do some deep digging on that. Stories. University of South Florida. Legends of America. Let's see, 5 facts about the Timucuan tribe. The first Europeans they met were Spanish. Had a unique appearance. Spanish explorers were shocked at the height of the Timucua, who averaged 4 inches or more above them. Timucuan men wore their hair in a bun, but this is the same thing Wikipedia says. This is exactly what Wikipedia says. Clothes are made from moss and cloth of various animal skins. Hmm. 64. So, yeah, it's not saying that they're 7 feet tall. Now, I don't want to sit here and try to dig around for that too long, but it's not saying they're 7 feet tall. I'd be interested to see, though, something that does say that. I mean, who's to say? Who knows what like, they only got this average height from skeletons they dug up, right? Like, who's to say that those skeletons were full-grown adults, or that even they represented, like, the majority of the tribe? I mean, who knows? Who knows? I don't think anything's going to tell us anything different, you know, right off the bat than what we're seeing here. As far as what they look like, though. Primary sources. What is this? Is this their old book that somebody wrote about documenting the tribe? Crazy. What are they doing here? They got... Looks like they're baptizing a baby. Why do these guys look so gnarly? This is gonna be obviously in Spanish or something. Can't... So, unfortunately, I can't read it. Is everything in Spanish? Oof. Yeah. Anyway. Well, good luck finding the truth about that one. Happy birthday, Bob in another realm. That's right, today is Bob's birthday. I'm not a flat earther, my chickens are. Has anyone been getting chemtrailed like crazy this past week? I haven't noticed it any more, really, than usual. Everything I can find says Cortez was 5'4". By the way, speaking of Bob, I'm trying to collect videos of people saying thanks Bob so that I can do like a collective I'm gonna have like the whole screen filled with everybody at the same time saying thanks Bob. So if you want to be included, you can send me a 2-second video of yourself saying thanks Bob, and you can send it to my email, which is karenbfe@protonmail.com, or you can send it to me on Telegram. If you're on Telegram, just direct message me the little video clip and I will download it and put it in my folder where I'm collecting video clips. Or if you are connected to me with me on Skype, you can do a screen record using Skype and send it to me on Skype. But I would like to get a whole bunch of voices all together for the very end of the video to say thanks Bob. That's it. Just 2 seconds. Thanks, Bob. That's it. So if anybody out there wants to be included in that, I will take any and all videos. I'm trying to recreate sort of that moment in the event where at the end, everybody there's the room full of people so they can all together at the same time say thanks, Bob. So I want to put that in the end of the video, and then it'll be done and it'll be mass distributed to anybody who cares to watch it. So anyway, that'd be cool. All the giant skeletons were taken away by the Smithsonian institution. The moat was in the shape of a house on the Monopoly board, yeah. We are bombarded all the time in Nebraska, really? They were shocked at 5 feet tall. Something ain't adding up, Wikipedia. That's what I'm saying. I mean, who knows if that's right. The Timucuan were portrayed by Europeans as giants in their records, as noted by Wikipedia. This is, of course, denied by modern history. I would like to see some old, like a diary or a record, like a something. Yeah. Now I'm getting dropped frame rate warnings. Poor network connection. I do not have a poor network connection, you guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here, I'm gonna open that link, Big Pine Sailing, because I'm curious. Let's see. The first people, the Timucuan Indians. Timucuan Indians walked in Florida long before Europeans claimed it for their kings. Then a broken photo link. Timucuan Indians walked in Florida long before Europeans claimed it for their kings. They were sophisticated people, archaeologist Dana St. Clair said. According to historians, the Timucua lived in southern Georgia all the way to central Florida, and from the Aquia River near Tallahassee over the Atlantic Ocean. Dr. Gifford Waters is a collection manager for the Spanish colonial 100,000 to 200,000 or more Timucua in the southeastern U.S. area when the Spanish arrived in the 16th century. However, this sophisticated group vanished. So what do we know of the Timucua comes from the European document. So what we know of them comes from European documents and from archaeological finds. Many artifacts are stored in the museums and at a collection building at the University of Florida. Historians say the Timucua lived in circular homes made of thatch and in organized communities. It was not unusual for the chief to be a woman, and on top of that, the Timucuan were matrilineal society, meaning the descent was traced through one's mother. The Timucua decorated themselves with paint and tattoos, according to historical documents, and even though... Hey, I lost my spot. Oh, here we go. And even though some European drawings showed Timucua tattooed from head to toe, Waters said we don't know if the designs are accurate. Depictions of what these tattoos might have looked like may have been influenced by those travelers' earlier expeditions in South America. Well, why? Why would they draw pictures of something else that they saw and call it and say that it was somewhere else? So we're not sure exactly what the paint and tattoo designs really are. Historians and archaeologists also know the Timucuan men would sometimes grow their fingernails really long and sharpen them to a point, possibly in times of warfare. The women would take Spanish moss, debug it, and make Spanish moss skirts. Also, archaeologists say the Timucua were not really giants as depicted in European drawings. Waters said they were not 7 feet tall, but more like 6 feet tall. When the Pedro Menendez arrived in 1565 and found St. Augustine, the Timucua greeted him and his estimated 800 travelers. So this is saying they're probably closer to 6 feet tall on an average, which is tall. I mean, that is tall. However, the Timucua were not free of the Spanish or eventually blah, 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 blah. Eventually, the Timucua population crashed when the Spanish arrived. There were possibly 200,000 Timucua. Just 200 years later, there were fewer than 100. Historians say forced labor and warfare and change in diet hurt the Timucua. However, epidemic disease introduced by the Europeans really pummeled the Timucua population. See, I gotta wonder about this storyline, right? Them saying that disease has taken out, like, all of these people. I mean, what do we know about disease now? So it really calls into question these historical claims that they used disease to take out these natives, or that they were taken out by disease that they brought. Is that to, like, maybe they poisoned them? Or they made up that story to hide, like, the brutal massacre of these people to take over the land. You know what I'm saying? Epidemic disease. What epidemic disease? And how could a change in diet? Like, I don't even understand how what change of diet could there possibly be? Like, did they suddenly start eating GMOs back then? No. Are they eating processed sugar? No. Well, maybe they're eating more processed sugar if the Europeans brought it over, but still. I mean, what could they have possibly brought over to make to that was just a diet to change? It just doesn't make sense. Mentions that primary sources claim they were huge. Yeah, so what is the real story about the Timucua and what happened? Who knows? Oof. They always say these mass population. Exactly! Virus is poison. Virus is literally derived from the word that means poison. So when they say, you know, like they put dead virus or whatever, they put actual virus in the you know what ski. God, I gotta watch what I'm saying because I'm on PoopTube, and they specifically don't want you saying anything bad about the pointy thing that, you know, that they with the plunger on the back, and then they put it in your muscle, and then they push the plunger, and then the stuff goes inside. Yeah, they specifically don't want you saying stuff about that. However, it's almost like a roundabout way of them saying that there's poison in that, right? Because virus is derived from the word poison. Let's look up etymology. There should be an etymology online. Etymology online. Virus, poisonous substance. A sense now archaic because we brainwashed you to think that it means something else. We brainwashed you to make you think that this means, you know, invisible thing that makes you ill, that is laying around in wait. You know what I'm saying? Poison. Look. Huesos. Epstein-Barr virus. Isn't this it came about in the 60s? That happens to be when they started the inoculation schedule. Did you know that? In the 60s? And that's when this came around? Oh, what a coincidence. Anyway. Yeah, so it's like a roundabout way of them saying that. But... And you know what, too? I just saw a picture of an old school book, like a vintage book. It's called There's Poison in the Pot. It was talking about how to make food that kills people. Here, this one. There's poison. Oh, there's death in the pot. That's what it's called. There's death in the pot. Let me see if I can find it. So maybe it could be a change in a diet. A diet of death in the pot food. There is death in the pot. Let's see, this is an old book. So maybe that's what they did. And it's like, and then they're telling you, oh, it was a change in the diet or disease. Yeah, they probably got poisoned to death. That is not a final end to Timucuan waters. Added research is underway in Cuba to know if any Timucuan descendants remain. Digs to uncover more stuff. Blah blah blah. So yeah. Said that, so the old original documents, I guess they were claiming 7 feet tall. 7 feet tall, wow, that's huge. Is that a giant? Death pot? I'd smoke that. Got another strike. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you gotta watch it. They don't want you talking about anything. We literally can't trust anything previous to teach of our own 15th birthday and anything we didn't see with our own eyes or experience. Yeah. At some of the museums I went to had some of these depictions of them as huge. Castor beans, hemlock, arsenic, lead, mercury. Yeah, so. So, wonder what happened. What happened to the Timucuan people? Probably got poisoned by the Spaniards. Right? Death in the pot. Is this in the Bible? Elisha turned to the famine in that region. While the company of prophets was meeting with him, he said to his servant, "Put on a large pot and cook some stew for these prophets." One of them went out in the fields to gather herbs and found a wild vine and picked as many of its gourds as his garment could hold. When he returned, he cut them up into the pot of stew, though no one knew what they were. The stew was poured out for the men, but as they began to eat it, they cried out, "Man of God, there is death in the pot." They could not eat it. Elisha said, "Get some flour." He put it into the pot and said, "Serve it to the people to eat," and there was nothing harmful in the pot. I don't get that. That's weird. Weird. Or Maasai tribe. Go to Holland or Norway, not uncommon, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, weren't the Vikings or somebody really tall, big, these Nordic people? Just got banned for 24 hours to make comments on videos. I've never seen that. And going to connect to the turbo bridge to open the phones, which I forgot to do.
Welcome to the conference center. You are a host.
There we go. Just in case anybody wants to call in and talk about stuff. Yeah. Not giant. I still found it interesting they were depicted that way in the drawings and how it's walked back by modern sources. Yeah, well, I don't know what that means. Now it's saying I have poor connection again. Oof. Hey, I know. Okay, we're back to excellent connection now. God, it's so stupid. So stupid. Also, I am doing Friday Coffee Talk streams for channel members and other supporters. So, if you would like to be a channel member on the boob tube, you can, and you will get access to my Friday Coffee Talk streams. Or if you are, you can subscribe on Rockfin And I also send a link to my Patreon members. Actually, I need to update who my Patreons are. I haven't even looked in there for a while, but I think I lost some Patreons. But I do send a unlisted Rumble link to my Patreons. So there's 3 different ways to watch: Rockfin, YouTube, and Rumble. So that's what's going on. Talking about the 7-foot face peelers in Peru. No, that was them trying to push the alien agenda, right? Whatever. How come we're not hearing about that anymore? What's up with the aliens? Let's see. Alien news. Alien ship cloud. Viewers report strange looking sight in Chicago area. 44 minutes ago, huh? Yeah, that's not an alien ship cloud. I opened my email and flooded with these pictures. According to Miller, it was actually what is known as a hole punch cloud, sometimes referred to as fall streak hole. Large circular or elliptical gap that can appear in cirrocumulus or altocumulus clouds. Oh, I see. Well, that's not an alien. The invincible strands you on a harsh alien world and doesn't what? Chunks of an alien world could be hidden deep within our planet, say scientists. Oh shit. Chunks of an alien world could be hidden deep within our planet, say scientists. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Is this like some Nibiru type shit? Scientists think a planet may have crashed into Earth 4.5 billion years ago, creating the moon. Oh, it is! This alien planet, Theia, was thought to have completely disappeared in the collision. A new study suggests that parts of Theia still exist in our planet around Earth's core. Continent-sized chunks of an alien world may be hiding deep within our planet, and it could explain the world structures that appear to be surrounding Earth's core. What weird structures? Scientists have long hypothesized that a Mars-sized planet called Theia crashed into Earth 4.5 billion years ago, leading to the creation of the moon. But this theory has been difficult to prove, in part because Theia was long thought to have disappeared during the collision, and also maybe because Earth isn't a fucking ball in space? You think maybe that might be why it's hard to prove? Now, a supercomputer simulation provides evidence that survive in the boundary between our planet's mantle and the core. Right. As well as shedding new light on the inner workings of our planet, scientists hope they will one day have access to these slabs of alien rock to reveal once and for all how our moon formed. Right. Come on. Despite all our technological advances, we still don't know exactly how the moon was created. The leading theory among planetary scientists is called the giant impact hypothesis, whereby a theoretical planet called Theia barreled into the early Earth at its very beginning. According to this theory, the collision caused rocks to spray into the cosmos, some of which started swirling together in Earth's orbit, ultimately leading to the creation of the moon. You guys are ridiculous with your stupid shit you're making up. Oh my god. The whole process may have taken under a day. Now they're gonna tell you what happened in a day? The problem is that this is very difficult to prove. We only have secondhand evidence that Theia existed, and assumption has long been that Theia melded into Moon, the Earth's mantle, and its core, in effect disappearing completely. Oh, right. What's the anomaly in Earth's mantle? I'm dying to know. Theia may be behind a mysterious anomaly in Earth's mantle. There's a very bizarre region inside Earth's mantle that scientists haven't been able to explain. This is called the core-mantle boundary. Right at the limit between the mantle and the core, the temperature shoots up, and seismic waves, which are used by geologists to get a sense of what is going on inside our planet, mysteriously slow down. Ha 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 ha! This has prompted scientists to think there may be something wrapped around the core, some unexplained layer that keeps the very heart of our planet warm. Previous theories have suggested this core mantle boundary could be made up of bits of ancient ocean floors, but some things don't quite line up. Oh, really? An artist's impression of the core mantle boundary, which a previous study suggested could be made up of ancient ocean floors, blah, blah, blah. For instance, some lava that is found at the surface, which is thought to have traveled from the core mantle boundary, is believed to be 4.5 billion years old, or about as old as the collision. They don't freaking know how old these rocks are. That's likely too old to belong to an ocean floor, one professor of computational physics says, and the lead author on the study. Previous research had also found that ancient lava from magma plumes in Iceland and Samoa carried bizarre radioactive signatures that would make more sense if they came from the ancient alien planet. They have these little links. Bizarre remains of impact that created the moon may lie deep within Earth. Oh, come on. Evidence from Iceland and Samoa suggests the LLSVPs have existed since the time of the moon-forming impact. What is the LLSLV? Lunar implant. Large, low shear velocity provinces might have simply crystallized out of the depths of Earth's primordial magma ocean. Well, there you might be telling a little bit of truth. Or they might be dense puddles of primitive mantle rock that survived the trauma of the moon-forming impact. Are the guts of alien impactor itself? This crazy idea is at least possible? No, it's not possible. It's not possible because space, as you guys think it exists, is not real. So that's clearly not possible. Here I think is where they've got their truth. Might have crystallized out of the depths of Earth's primordial magma ocean. I think that's how most land masses were formed. But they just gotta throw in their stupid bullshit, right? The findings suggest parts of Theia that could be millions of times larger than Mount Everest could have sunk deep in our planet's mantle. This prompted Deng and his co-authors to investigate whether the mysterious boundary could be, at least in part, made up of old bits of Theia. You guys are so dumb. It's like they go in with this preconceived idea, and they're like, even the way they write this article, the way they describe it, they're clearly like looking for confirmation bias, right? They're like, everything they're looking for is like ways to tie it to this stupid fucking Theia planet that they think, that they want to say, this whole stupid solar system programming propaganda lie to back up another lie, to back up another lie, to back up another lie. That's all they have is stupid bullshit, right? The moon is made of queso fresco. That's what's up. Raining diamonds. Theoretical. Exactly, Lord Racer. Very good. Star Trek and Star Wars and aliens and warp speed and black holes. Yeah, right? Exactly. So there's that bit of alien stuff in the news. Elon Musk see Tesla robo taxis during the search for alien intelligence. Could be chunks of an alien world in Earth, anomalies deep inside Earth, or wreckage of crashed alien world. Okay, so this is their alien story of the week, that Earth has an alien planet inside of it. Researchers find first extensive mature population of invasive species in Europe. Resident Alien Season 3 release. Alien hominid invasion has arrived. Alien language. If we met extraterrestrials, could we... I mean, just weird. Goldie Hawn's alien encounter. Actress 77. Oh, we gotta read this. Oh, this is new. Goldie Hawn's actress 77 claims an extraterrestrial once touched her face, saying it felt like the finger of God, as she recalls a moment when she found herself surrounded by 3 otherworldly beings. Oh, get the fuck out. Okay. Goldie Hawn has claimed that an alien once touched her face, revealing that it felt like the finger of God. Oh my god, you idiot. The Oscar-winning actress 77 spoke about the extraterrestrial encounter during a recent appearance on Apple Fitness's audio show Time to Walk, in which she detailed her longtime desire to come face-to-face with an alien, a wish that she says was granted more than 5 decades ago. She recalled how bizarre the creatures with triangle-shaped heads, no ears, and a slash for a mouth surrounded her while she was preparing to take a nap in a friend's car after she yelled up at the sky that she wanted to meet an alien. According to the Star, the incident occurred roughly 50 years ago when she was in her 20s and working as a dancer in California. Oofda. That's not a flattering picture. Although she is 77. Looked up at the dark sky. I saw all these stars, and all I could think of was, how far does this go? How little are we? Are we the only planet in the whole wide universe that has life on it? I said, I know you're out there. I know we're not alone. I would like to meet you one day. 4 months later, Goldie claimed that she came into contact with extraterrestrials while sitting alone in a pal's vehicle. She recalled hearing a high-pitched sound in her ear and suddenly being unable to move before 3 strange life forms appeared in front of her. They were silver in color, slash for a mouth, tiny little nose, no ears, and the overboard alum revealed. They were pointing at me in the car as if they were discussing me like a subject, and they were droning. What? I was paralyzed, and I thought, oh my god, I want to get up. I didn't know if it was real or not. Goldie said that when one of them touched her face, it felt like something she had never experienced before, but she insisted that they weren't threatening, but rather she described them as loving and filled with light. It felt like the finger of God. It was the most benevolent, loving feeling. She continued, this was powerful. It was filled with light. Get out of here. When the moment ended, she said she was like bursting out of a force field. Goldie explained that the encounter stuck with her for decades and sparked a fierce fascination with space and otherworldly phenomenon for her. Years later, the now 77-year-old said she decided to visit an area where many crop circles have been popping up, and she said she had a strange dream the night before she arrived. I was looking over a valley and saw 6 lights coming up over the mountains, she said of the dream. We got to the spot the next day, and by God, I was standing on this hill looking down over a valley that was dark. That was exactly the spot in my dream. To make things even more freaky, she was told that when she arrived at the new crop circle had appeared the night before. We can never, ever lose our wonder, she concluded. It's just no fun. It's really an important aspect of being an adventurer where nothing is impossible. Blah, 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 vomit. Vomit. The finger of God. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody says that. Like, nobody has ever said that. Why all of a sudden now is Goldie Hawn telling everybody that an alien touched her face and it felt like the finger of God? She's being interviewed by what rinky-dink channel that no one... I don't know. A slee stack probably touched Goldie. That's funny. I heard a sign like somebody... somebody tipped me. Thank you for the tip, whoever that was. Were you on Twitch? Twitch Watcher? Thank you, Twitch Watcher. Or I don't know if you're watching on Twitch or wherever you're watching. Craig, cheers. Thank you for the tip on Buy Me a Coffee. And I'm super excited. My mom's coming back with my oldest son. I'm going to have all 3 of my children with me. I'm having major dropped frames now on the alert in stupid ass Streamlabs. So she got fingered in the car way back when she was a dancer. Nice story. Yes, Billingtano, that's exactly what happened. One time I had an experience where I guess I was dreaming, but I felt like I had woken up, but I felt my bed was on top. It was me from Rumble. Oh, thank you. Shows doesn't matter how big time you are, you still have to follow the script. You never know with, I mean, someone like that who's been in Hollywood for decades and decades and decades, like, she probably believes her bullshit.